long.
Oh, I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised. Y'all been in church 2 hours and you're expecting to see heaven out here, and there ain't no heaven. You're still right here on the hit a black man's truth. No, you can't deny it. You can't deny it. You've been down on the news the last 2 hours, haven't you? Begging some God to help you in the hereafter. But the hereafter is right now, brother. The hereafter is here and now.
We a series of amendments and leather African pendants, handguns and incense. Liberation's expensive. Earned by studying love, books and bloods, the crooks and thugs, the capitalists loves. They the enemies of the people because the words written replace where the innocence was. Searching for knowledge to escape what ignorance does. So we earn liberation by rejecting what was.
You got to earn your liberation.
Yeah, welcome back, Diallo.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I think you a labor boycott or something. This is a worker cooperative, man, and you don't want to push the buttons the right way.
What did I do? What I do now?
I don't know, man. We came on the screen. We showed it. We looking all weird.
Happy Father's Day, Jared.
Likewise. Happy Father's Day to you and to all the fathers
too,
out there.
Your baby mama told me to wish you a happy Father's Day. She said you're not answering your phone. You got her blocked or something. So she knew I would be talking to you.
No, I told her she only could talk to me through you. So I appreciate that. You're my agent now.
That's all right.
Hey, real quick, man. Salute to Soul Mega. I saw you in that. I know we're going to get to it later, but I saw Soul Mega and a couple others in that Mark Lamont Hill chat. She's giving him the business.
Yeah,
and old boy was struggling. I can't wait. I definitely got to wrap at 2:00 today, though, fellas, because I gotta make my presence known.
Oh, that means we gotta get to work then. Let's get to work, man.
So
you ready to get to work? You did your homework? Diallo froze.
Oh, he froze.
No, I'm not.
You did your homework?
I'm not froze.
Now you're not because you drank that coffee. You're not froze. You did your homework?
Happy Saint no, I didn't. But happy Saint Joseph's Day. Y'all know the history of Father's Day?
No.
Yeah, sure. We ain't got time
in the Catholic tradition, Joseph, Mary's husband, is the saint of fatherhood.
Oh wow.
So early in the spring.
Stepfather?
Wait, the one who's not a father and who had a Roman soldier impregnate his wife, and then they call it immaculate? Wow.
I mean, if a genocidal, homicidal maniac got your woman pregnant, you gonna buck? Man, you saw a man just drown a bunch of people. He drowned them for nothing and their children. You're going to be like, hey, baby, we got this, me and you. You ain't going to buck.
And God told her, you're going to carry this child.
Right. And
like
Joseph
it or not.
Right.
You're going to be pregnant.
I know dudes be talking mad shit. If a genocidal monster.
We got these.
You're going to be like, hey, let's just keep our heads down. You know, especially it's a magic baby. You can get lottery numbers and shit. You know that baby gonna get you out the hood. Put it in any sport. So yeah, I'd raise a magic baby of a monster. I wouldn't say shit. Get myself boiled in oil or some weird shit. So yeah, I'm never gonna dish Joseph. I'm never gonna dish Joseph. But St. Joseph's Day is the progenitor to Father's Day.
Geechee left. He's like, I'm not participating in this.
Man, I ain't trying to go to hell with y'all. I'm trying to go up there.
I think Jesus, and I mean, wasn't that statutory? How old was Mary? 13?
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, they say that absolutely 12, 13 would have been the time that would have happened according to the customs of the day. Yeah,
so
buddy.
So when the angel knocked on Joseph's door, he thought it was the police coming. He thought it was He was relieved when it was just an angel to make an announcement. He's like, oh, you just here to make an announcement? Do what you need to do. Because he thought that was DCFS at his door.
But if we worried about that, then you definitely can't read the Quran.
Oh,
because it only gets worse.
Yeah. And I'm still
Oh
waiting
my
for
goodness.
these Christians to explain to me why Jesus wouldn't touch Mary, but he'd wrestle a man. Yeah, read your Bible, man.
Hey,
talking
you
about
know,
we
and
going to hell. You don't
and
know
what
your
about the
Bible.
gospel where he's alone with the boy in the woods somewhere, or something like that? Like, what's up with that? Like, what was going on there?
He had to wrestle one of his prophets, put his prophet in a half Nelson for 2 days and 2 nights, so he would embark on the mission. He wouldn't touch. He did magic. Magic. You pregnant?
Seriously, straight up. I think I am more and more convinced the only way to stay a believer is you cannot read these books.
I don't know about that.
That's the way I feel. You can't read them because once you read them,
I think
if you really read them,
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
All
Man.
right.
But
Let's
Father's Day, man.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to everybody, man. And
making a joke out of Father's Day. Y'all so gynocentric, man. Y'all wasn't talking reckless about, goddesses on Mother's Day.
Well, we haven't. Go ahead. No, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm
about to say, Diallo's walked us into our first topic. Since y'all want to talk about some heathen shit, Brother Diallo texted us and said that he's going to join the black males study.
Yes, I reversed my position on black men's studies and men's studies in general, and I also endorse straight pride.
Straight pride
and White History Month. I mean, I'm sick of all these overlooked groups that don't get enough focus and attention. So yes, I definitely have changed my position on black male studies.
Why though, man? Tell us why though. What did you see? You end up seeing some stuff that
because the Heritage Foundation. By the time the Heritage Foundation is acknowledging the unique suffering and plight of black men, I can't have the Heritage Foundation be blacker than me.
Diallo's exactly right. I think Diallo is accurately laying out the situation and the changes that need to occur. And when we get to the point where you turn and you see that good rich white audience to show up to that black panel about how black fathers have let down black people, how could you not make the change? Like, you can't let them good rich white folks down.
Ain't no way. Heritage Foundation is at the cookout and I'm outside the fence.
Absolutely. Heritage. Yep. Yep.
So
how we doing this?
Y'all gonna have to suffer with me a little bit because I made a clip and I broke it down as much as I could.
That's all we ask, Ichi.
I did, but five. I think it's still at 6 or 5. So y'all gonna have to
just focus. That's all we ask for. A little focus.
I did speed some things up, but again, this person is hired at the Heritage Station. We're gonna get to why he got hired at the Heritage Station. In fact, his interview video is public online, right? Him and the president of the Heritage Foundation. But he and few of his comrades are at a private meeting with the Heritage Foundation with nothing but majority of white people in the audience, a few black person, interesting black lady. You're gonna see her in a second. And yeah, they're getting it into a captioned audience, and I clipped a few things that was captured in there, and we're gonna listen to that, and then we're gonna talk. Diallo, be nice, and people in the chat, cringe. There's some cringe things that's gonna be said.
Partnership with the Bridge Project, the first multi-state direct cash program for mothers and babies.
Nice, organic, uncontroversial conversation, because that's what we do at Heritage, and that's very much what I'm known for, is not generating controversy. Road policing, the corrections community. We want to get rid of prisons. If we want to get rid of judges, sorry, brother, if we want to get rid of counselors and therapists, right? We need to really invest in fathers. About 80% of men who rape out of anger come from fatherless homes.
Right, and so the more that we invest in fathers, the cheaper it is for us to deal with a lot of these social pathologies and issues.
One last point, and this is just one data point, kind of just a little nugget. I talked about the onset of puberty. When girls feel close to their fathers, they enter into puberty later.
Now, what happens is that when they enter puberty under the age of 12, they often try to get from other men what they should get from their fathers. That gets sexualized. It leads to promiscuity. It also leads to a teenage pregnancy as well. For boys, if they're close to their dads, they will go into puberty much earlier. If they're not close to their dads, they will go into puberty a little later. Fathers have a fantastic role in setting a fire under his masculinity. He begins to know that he matters. He wants to do something really important. Without a dad, he's timid. He's withdrawn and often unable to control his impulses.
Something that I've noticed is that if we can incentivize marriage, that would give people more incentives to become married, but also to stay married, along with incentivization of marriage. If you've been married for 5 years versus married for 2 years, I believe that the government or the IRS should reward that.
You actually use marriage to ground and shape and structure a life that is characterized by flourishing. And I want all children, regardless of their income level, to see that as an aspiration above career. And above the acquisition of stuff, right? The little stupid car. Who cares about your little Louis Vuitton purse? Like, who cares about your Jordans, right? How about instead of getting some Jordans, how about use that money and go to the courthouse and get a marriage license and marry the woman, and then you get all the Jordans you want because you'll be in a much better financial position to do it much later.
You need corporate buy-in, and the key word with that is buy. We need funds going to different podcasts, different companies to push that agenda. And in order to push any agenda, you need funds. So I believe if we get the corporate buy-in, that we'll be able to utilize the strength of companies, the strength of
policies have moral underpinnings, and those moral underpinnings must be eternal and intrinsic. They must be things that you can't touch, see, or feel. Things that are that only come from a creator, and things that are immutable, things that will empower you and that only somebody can give you, but the government can't. The government can't give you motivation. The government can't give you identity. The government can't give you a sense of purpose and meaning in life, but a dad can.
I have a lot of questions.
They call themselves Americans, right?
You on some of them.
You mentioned the Cosby Family, but even the sitcoms now, the dad is kind of the joke. You know, he's the punchline of every sitcom. But particularly, you know, I'll ask the hard question, like rap music seems to be particularly violent, degrading. At least, you know, Caucasian communities have country. There's Darius Rucker, but, you know, country seems to promote that marriage family culture.
This goes back to something Dr. Bradley was talking about in terms of the Cosby effect, is that you can't sow Snoop Dogg and reap the Cosby Show.
Historically speaking, I know Vladimir Lenin died in 1924, I believe. But one of the things he said was, how can we get communism in the United States? And we can do that through the Negro. If we can set up a communist Negro communities or country within the United States,
I'm a victim
this ideology.
Vladimir's
And I do
conspiracy.
believe that what we see in a lot of the urban centers is a model of what the entire country will look like.
Lenin made us made the Negroes communists.
I hit the hand in a long time given agenda that we're seeing play out. That's just my opinion.
Bring on the
We
blackmail.
commit to disrupting the Western prescribed nuclear family structure. And in 2014, I didn't understand what that meant because I wasn't sort of well versed in philosophy. I was a computer engineer major. I didn't read books on this sort of thing.
But when I heard two of the co-founders of BLM say that they are trained Marxists, then it started to make sense.
Because obviously what Marx, one of the things that he wanted to do was abolish the family. You abolish the family, you make the community weak, you make it easier to force individuals to pledge their fealty and loyalty to the state. Now, again, there's a lot going on in that dynamic. Do I think that the average person in a low-income community is saying, yes, I'm a card-carrying member of the Communist Party? Absolutely not. But do I think it's the case that people's ideologies have had an impact on policy, politics, and culture and media, absolutely. So I think that's something that's worth noting. And again, I sort of dive into that more in the book.
So listen, the dude, that last comment kind of tells you who he is, positioning wise. So if y'all remember Daniel Patrick Moynihan, and his
Moynihan.
Moynihan, I'm sorry.
I like Moynihan better.
That's fine. That's fine. We don't have to pronounce it right, but whatever.
The white boy,
Moynihan.
But I think this brother believes that he could get into the Moynihan. He could be the remix to Moynihan, and so he wrote this book, and now he's trying to solidify his space to contribute to policy and thought. But Diallo, and I heard some of Jared's reactions in the I read some of them. Well, I want to start with you. What? How you showing?
In all seriousness, this reactionary black male centric train of thought always leads to right-wing reactionism. In all the times that I've observed it, no matter how militant, no matter how pro-black, no matter how it is oriented or established to address the problems of black people, it always falls into the lap. I've been saying for years, if you take out the red, black, and green, if you take out the obligatory references to Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey, Umar Johnson, the Prince of Pan-Africanism, his analysis and his proposed remedies align perfectly with the Heritage Foundation, the Cato Institute, and all the other right-wing conservative, focus on the family. If you look, so that's why I think in a patriarchal system, a black patriarchy is not an appropriate response. Black patriarchy is no different than black capitalism. Or even, bless his heart, Marcus, black Zionism. Our goal is to go counter and to subvert these points of views and ideology, not to adapt them or drape them in kente cloth or mud cloth and call them ours.
Let me play this right quick before you go, Jared.
The third rail, Delano, you know how controversial this stuff is. So, as you note in one of your heritage pieces and in the book, today only 33% of black adults are married, compared to 48% of Hispanics, 57% of whites, and 63% of Asians. This is, of course, we're wandering onto the third rail of American politics. Why, or American culture? Why are so many more? Let's take Asians. Why are almost double? Why are families of Asians almost doubly likely to be made up of mothers and fathers rather than single parents? How do we explain that without descending into some sort of rather vulgar racism?
Well, I think a big part of it has to do with cultural norms. And to your point, sometimes it's difficult for some people to disentangle culture from race. But when I'm talking about culture, I'm just on a basic level. The norms, the values, the practices that are seen as acceptable within a particular community. And regardless of what that community is, whether it's racial, ethnic, geographic, religious, there are both incentives for people to practice those norms.
So I'm not even gonna let y'all suffer. So Jason Whitlock is where he was on. He started being on Jason Whitlock's show. And from Jason Whitlock's show, the president of the Heritage Foundation found him and then invited him on the show. They started following each other. And then I'll play that clip in a second. But Jared, yeah, I know you watched a lot of it. Mark Lamont Hill did get a chance to interview him, and there was I guess a fun struggle between the two of them. And then
I didn't find it fun. I watched that whole panel, and I watched the Mark Lamont Hill interview, which I found to be incredibly disturbing. And I had to point out, because I am petty in that way, that Mark Lamont Hill invited me on and gave me about 15 minutes to talk about my book, and then sat here with this man for 2 hours listening to this nonsense, this absolute already debunked nonsense. So like, I know sometimes I'm criticized and some of us are criticized for who we talk about or platform or sit with, but I found that interview on Mark Lamont Hill to be a complete disservice, despite the fact I know how Mark positions himself and journalistically, and he sees himself as doing a service to the community with that. I find that to be not the case, and he would have done just as well doing what we're doing here, playing what this man says, reading the book if you want, and then explaining how it is a front for white nationalist conservative politics. That this guy, again, like many Black capitalists and financial literacists, et cetera, they position themselves as offering something new and novel and even revolutionary. And what all that they're doing is regurgitating. You pointed to Moynihan, you could point the Heritage Foundation, to Manhattan Institute, to all their previous. I'm sorry?
Thomas Sowell,
Walter Williams. I mean, the whole crew. I mean, like this is this generation's replacement of that, and or update of that. And it's slick. I don't know entirely how to measure his intelligence. His political knowledge and education is pretty low, but he is a competent speaker. He is competent in presenting his argument, as flawed as it is. And I can see why the Heritage Foundation would want to promote him and put him out there. Now, there were two things that he says that I would like to take a moment to respond to, if you all don't mind. I don't know. I'm happy to work it in whenever you want. One is that point that he did just there about referring to Black Lives Matter folks as trained Marxists. And I had to go, I want to quickly dig this back out, because that is, again, a reference to an interview I did. And the reason I know that this keeps, all these years later, because this is back in 2015, all these years later, it keeps coming back, because in part because I have a Google alert set on my name, and from time to time, at least a couple times a year, somewhere in some conservative press, reference to my name, only because I was the host of the interview, comes up in reference to somebody pulling this back up and saying, see, and it's usually some white Fox News type person, and then it's crazy. So I just want to play you all this quick clip so you all can see where this originated. Advance in your own organization as you all are headed to Cleveland. And just quickly, just a quick background real quick, is, this started because back in 2014, 2015, I forgot exactly how, but I had been put in contact with the three founders of Black Lives Matter, and we had an email exchange. And I was trying to get them to do an interview, because several of us had noted that they were constantly giving interviews to mainstream and more white presses and popular presses, but they were never talking to their political left. And they seemed to be sort of shaping a certain narrow Democratic Party politics. I was already in agreement with Glenn Ford and Dixon, who were highly critical of them. And initially they said they would not interview with me because of my association with Glenn and Bruce, who had been publicly critical of them. So it took some time for me to let them know that even at the time, I wasn't even working with Black Agenda Report at the time. I just wanted to give them this sort of relatively friendly interview, and I got about 7 to 10 minutes. So that's just a little bit of background to this one part of the question, and I'll put the link in the show description. Folks can see the whole thing if they really want to. To participate in this Black Lives Movement conference. How do you respond to that particular critique? Again, a level critique from an elder of the struggle that others share, that I've even shared as well, to be frank, as a concern about, in part because of the co-optation and the appropriation, that a more clear ideological structuring might be of some value here. But how do you respond to those kinds of, again, loving criticisms?
I think that the criticism is helpful. I also think that it might, I think of a lot of things. The first thing I think is that we actually do have an ideological frame. Myself, and Alicia in particular, are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists. We are super versed on sort of ideological theories. And I think that what we really try to do is build a movement that could be utilized by many, many Black folk.
All right, so that again, I'll put the, you can watch the whole thing at some point whenever you like.
Was that face you like, what the fuck are you, what?
There was a lot going on. There was a lot going on to be the context was kind of disturbing, but yeah, that was Patrice to folks in the chat who were asking, and she was thinking back on it, like I think she felt, and I was trying to get her to acknowledge, like, what are your politics and what is it that where are you in all of this? What is the ideological position of the organization? All this other kind of stuff, and that was sort of how it went. But I just wanted to put that out there, like that's where that stuff comes from, and it's wild to see how often somebody's making some kind of reference to it, usually in the way that we saw the brother here doing it, to dismiss them, to use that as evidence to say, see, and exactly, she said nothing wrong in that interview. The issue, in fact, was more, from my at least perspective at the time, was if those are your actual politics, why don't we hear that in your argumentation? Why don't we hear that analysis? And I know that they come out of that Eric Mann training in California, where the idea was to have the Communist Party go sort of underground and train people quietly and have them. There is some truth to the way the right likes to make it a conspiracy, but the goal was to rebrand the arguments and the politics so that Marxists and communists could get more into popular organizations and hopefully move them more to the left. So that's why I think that they were trained as Marxists in a certain way, but trained also to not be overt about it.
So Diallo, you have been flagging a lot of things of being able to put a MAGA hat on somebody and dub Umar's voice and be like, oh, they're saying the same thing, right? And there are these theories and thoughts that's, Black male studies, I hear that, and then the foundational arguments that they're making, like, hey, again, and Jerry, we could talk about, like, because I think you got into a little bit about it wasn't explicitly saying that dads couldn't be in, and it's talking about income and whatever, but they never talk about, like, the economic situation. Like, they divorce themselves from that and they go straight to the woman. The woman don't want the child in.
No, in the Mark Lamont Hill interview, he does. He says the economic thing is real, but it's secondary to the fact that Black people have this deformed culture and they don't want to marry people.
Yeah. So in Mark's interview, which I suspect, in the Harris Foundation on their little platform, like, he actually has this method that he goes to Black audiences. Like, he particularly goes to Black, how, like, there's Black conservatives who they don't go to Black audiences. It's his job to go to Black audiences, the griot and all the other stuff. So, like, this dude, and I'm vying for Weakest of the Week, but this dude is very clear on what the fuck he's doing. And
I think y'all give him a.
But really quickly, so this is the Heritage Fund, and I want you to get into again how these manosphere guys can go straight into this. They can just fit right into the right wing, right? One of the right wing architects at this moment of the think tanks, right? Heritage Foundation. This is the president of the think tank. Like, this is him. This is the president of that Heritage Foundation, Obama Heritage Foundation conversation, the Project 2025. Like, this is the dude. Like, this is him. And he's meeting with this guy after seeing him on Jason Whitlock. So here you go.
And the fact that so many of them are struggling. So many of them have been writing for the Blaze. It was a high school from Barbados.
Regardless of the story, I'm sorry, because this is what I was looking for too. So let's start there. I'm gonna start at the beginning.
Families and fathers and even masculinity for the better part of the last 60 years.
Welcome back to the Kevin Roberts Show. You know, we've been doing this for several weeks, and it seems like each week we get yet another really interesting American, someone who's not just a patriot, but someone who's really thoughtful about that and doesn't just say, I'm optimistic about the future, but they have reason to put behind that. That is some real substance behind it. And so I just want to thank you, the audience, for making the show possible. You know, the whole drill about giving us a rating, and we only like 5-star ratings. You know, given that we have socialism in this country, I'm just asking you just to give it a 5-star rating. That's it. But all kidding aside, this guest, a new acquaintance of mine, someone who's been at the Heritage Foundation today for some things, is someone I know is going to be a longtime friend of Heritage and hope of mine, and that is Delano Squires. Delano, thanks for joining me. You're a contributor to Blaze TV's Fearless with Jason Whitlock.
Yes.
You and I keep track of one another on Twitter, and that's how this all happened. I was sitting at home minding my business, trying to go to sleep, and I was trying to find some really thoughtful commentary on Twitter on a day that here in DC, the news was really challenging, which is kind of like all the other days.
Right.
And I was reminded of how thoughtful you are. And I'm not just being a polite Southerner. I really mean that. So I sent you a message and I said, you want to be on the show?
Yeah.
And you said, absolutely. So thanks for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's a real treat. So, you know, as a Southerner, I know you're from New York, which means, you know, one of us is better than the other.
We won't say which is.
That's right. I always want to know people that I've just gotten to meet, what their story is. I mean, here you are, someone who is just very thoughtful about the present situation in America for all of us, regardless of where we're from and what we look like.
Right.
You're someone who is very comfortable talking about touchy issues, like, for example, how should conservatives talk about race? How should all of us, regardless of the color of our skin, deal with challenges to the nuclear family? How should we educate our kids? What do we need to be doing, especially as dads, with our kids and with people generally? So we're going to cover all of that in the podcast, but so that people know that they really should home in on what you have to say about these things. What's Delano's story?
That's a good question. So I grew up in New York City. My parents immigrated to this country late 70s, early 80s. So they got married 1981. I came tumbling into the world 9 months later.
Where were your parents from?
Barbados.
Very good.
Yeah. So
there's
I always tell people
he was talking. He
Rihanna
country.
country.
From
So that's how
Charleston.
most people know.
Barbados.
So I grew up in New York. I grew up in a large extended family, and a large church family. So we were in church basically every Sunday since the time I was 3 years old. And I am the type of person, when people say it takes a village to raise a child, I understand what that looks like in the best possible sense. So went to New York City public schools for all but 2 years, and graduated Benjamin Cardozo High School, went off to college, University of Pittsburgh, studied computer engineering, which is an interesting fact, and just spent the majority of my 20s struggling to find and start a career. So my low point, I actually worked at a wholesaler for Claire's. So anybody who has teenage girls knows what Claire's is, right?
Them little stud
So at one point, I found myself sticking labels on chapstick, and I said to myself, I have a computer engineering degree. This should not be happening. And so I went through a series of odd jobs, temp work. Finally ended up in the DC area. Leasing consultant. That's what brought me to this, city.
Listen how
and then ended up finding, full-time work, starting a career, going back to school. I went to grad school at George Washington University, did a master's in public policy with a concentration on social policy, and started to write publicly, probably around 2010. Started with a site called Black and Married with Kids that was created by a couple from this area who wanted to provide more positive images of Black marriage and family. And
all right, I'm sorry, I'm stopping. All right, so
I reject your apology.
Diallo, Manospaz adjacent, Black political discourse. Get into it. I'm sorry.
Listen, y'all been jeffing with this dude. If you don't know what jeffing means, find somebody from Kansas City to explain it to you. this guy is not so smart and all that shit. The reality is these guys like him graft onto pre-existing indoctrination. Unfortunately, the vast majority of Black institutions are little more than mimics of the white Western institution. They're capitalist, they're patriotic, they're integrationist. And even our militant institutions or militant groups like the Nation of Islam are hyper-conservative. So if you come with a conservative message with some Black seasoning on it, you're more likely to resonate with more people because you are speaking to positions and conclusions that the vast majority of our Black men, because that's what we're talking about on Father's Day, but Black women too, Christian, capitalist, accumulation of wealth and comfort, the Protestant work ethic. So I don't really think you got to be smart to basically stand on the status quo, advocate for the status quo, and embrace the status quo. That doesn't really take brilliance. In fact, it's quite lazy. The challenge is transforming people's thought, subverting the dominant paradigm. That's where you need to be smart and engaging and transformative, subverting the dominant paradigm. So this motherfucker coming talking about family. Oh, that's going to make people's ears perk up.
So
family
to
and
be
all that
clear,
bullshit.
to be clear, I was not jeffing with him. I was saying that he's not intelligent, that he's not new, that he's not offering anything seminal or revolutionary. He is, I just said he was competent in delivering his message. And I do think he is that. He is competent in delivering his message. But he is doing something that is very old and tired and trifling. And what I heard in that last clip there is, again, part of that foundational Black American ADOS argumentation in response to evolving as a right-wing response to what he was just saying. Because what he is doing, and one of the reasons why he's invited to the Heritage Foundation and welcomed into those spaces, is because he's taking a very anti-Black American, anti-Pan-Africanist position from a diaspora African community coming here saying, if I can come here and in one generation take advantage of this wonderful opportunity as Black as I am, what's wrong with the rest of these Negroes? And now the FBA ADOS people will again respond to that from the right and say that's why we have to do things on our own. But what they are also doing, it looks like I'm freezing up here for some reason. But it looks, but what they're also doing is and it shows why he's politically in line with the reverse hashtag community, with the FBA ADOS community, at least as a baseline against racism and this country being a barrier to advance. The only difference is, of course, they point at him and say, you're the reason why we didn't make it. And this kind of diaspora argument is Black America, as a specifically deformed form of African diaspora enslaved populations, has a backwards culture that prevents them from taking advantage of the things that we in the diaspora can come here and take advantage of very quickly. There's another piece that I do want us to come back to, because he mentioned in that other piece, C. Dolores Tucker, and completely misrepresents her and that history in that response to that white lady's question about hip hop, which of course avoided all of the white corporate ownership of the cultural expression that Black people have never had control over, and then sits there and says, what's wrong with you all? But I would want to come back to that, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, let's do that too. So I think, and maybe I was just, creating conspiracies.
Yeah, my bad. I see you, Dr. Dahl. I see you.
But these cats in the chats, right? There's a lot of cats who be in every comment, every chat, or whatever, and you don't really know who these people is. And I wouldn't be surprised if it might be this dude. Like I can imagine some of these people, like what do they do in their life? Like what's their job, right? And people who, the way they talk to people on the internet or whatever. And I wouldn't be surprised if this dude is one of these cats in the chat. But before the argument, right? So, and I want both of y'all to respond to this. There's always this argument around dads used to be kept out of the house and the welfare queens and whatever. And there's something that Black men in particular, but a bunch of people have, if they don't say the same thing, they're arguing a dumbass point that's rooted from that thing, right? And so in this interview, they was talking about like 60 years ago, Daniel Patrick Moynihan published The Negro Family, the Case for National Action. And then he talked about Delano's, I don't know how to, Squires, his name, whoever this guy is, who is the Richard and Helen DeVoe Center for Human Flourishing at the Heritage Foundation. So he has a job there. And he was, and even when the white lady asked him a question, she's like, I'm not even gonna ask you a question because I can corner you in the office and ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a panel, right? So you can kind of see. But do y'all have a response to the cats who will be in the chat later and say, well, are y'all trying to say that Black men wasn't pushed out the home or it's incentivized or like,
no, that was the point, and that's the huge flaw with his analysis and what I saw clearly in the Mark Lamont Hill interview, that he does something slick apparently, because I have not read the book, but Mark Lamont Hill starts off the interview by saying, I read the book, and he says, you do something that most people do not do, who are coming from the right wing, which is you acknowledge and start with enslavement of Black people as creating, the foundation of all these problems. Now, but the problem is that what, of course, Squires does is take that foundational beginning and go to the right and says, because of enslavement, Black people have this deformed culture that prevents them from properly marrying one another and thriving in this perfectly fine society. And he kept saying in one way or another with Mark Lamont Hill, yeah, I mean, shit was bad at one point. It was, whatever. But we now have had all this time to make the corrective. We have now had all this time to fix the problem. The same forces are not impacting us, and so on. So when Mark even brought up some of the history of the specific ways that this capitalist, white supremacist economy targets Black men, which it does, Squire's response was to put it back on the cultural deficiency of the community, suggesting that if more Black men just married Black women, because then he gets later into this whole thing about it can't be two women, it can't be trans folks, it can't be, any other formation, it's got to be, cis men, cis women, and that's it. And if that happens, when he fraudulently cites these statistics about, 77, when 80% of white kids are born, or 90% of white kids are born to two parents, and only 17% of Black, I don't remember the numbers, but he's like, white kids are always born to two parents, Black kids are never born to two parents, and that's nothing wrong with white supremacy, capitalism, et cetera. It's that blip of slavery that injected this cultural deformity into Black America that has that they need to overcome, that Black people have to overcome. And I don't know exactly. I didn't catch exactly. I guess you would have to read the book maybe, or maybe you have more information in the clips, but I didn't catch exactly how he suggests that happens, because the people, his co-panelists, had a whole bunch of vague, corporate involvement. The other brother was saying, the one who was supposed to be the superstar researcher on the subject said, instead of taking your kids to Disneyland or to the movies, take your kids to other families during Thanksgiving and holidays, so you can sit them down like I did for the kid I mentored and let him see a two-parent household functioning, and then they will grow up and desire the same thing. He said, stop taking them to buy clothes and stop taking them to amusement parks and sporting events. Take them to other, like, as if this is which again sounded absurd to me. The idea of but anyway, but the point again being, the problems are all the result of what Black people are not themselves doing, and it is another. It's all the things in once. It's the Moynihan. It's the Black capitalism, it's the white nationalist argumentation, it's the reverse hashtag, it's the anti-Pan-Africanist diaspora. It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
So Diallo, sometimes I feel like when people are saying something as bogus as it is, it's hard to like affirm with them that you understand what the fuck they're saying and you still disagree, because most people think like, oh well, I'm not saying that. And Jared, this is kind of why I said, and I know we have struggles around like Diallo might say we softball something, but the reason why I say Mark was the perfect person to like interview is because I know that's how Mark is gonna come, and he's gonna be like, again, he even tried to give him a compliment at the beginning. He's gonna make it easier. But the reality, kind of to Diallo's point, sometimes if Mark were to go in on him because Mark was making faces sometime, it would have still helped Mark out because he would get mad views and stuff. So I don't like Mark really don't have a choice. He don't have an excuse not to engage him in a particular way.
Well, again, I think what we're doing is the better model of approaching this than what Mark Lamont Hill did. But
right.
That's
but Diallo, is the argument that these brothers are making. They are demanding that whatever oppression, men oppression that they are talking about, they are naming this men oppression, and they want you to center that as the primary thing we need to organize around. And are they explicitly saying every other analysis, especially everything that comes from feminism, needs to just not even be in this space? Like, what do from your engagement with these people? Like, what are they argument, and can there something be validated around? Again, and I know you said it last week around if Black male studies was this and it was a part of this big thing, it would be cool. But what from your vantage point are these people saying as it relates to the particular oppression they're trying to name? Like Black men, like, again, I don't remember all of the arguments, but one of the guys in the comments said that Black men experience more violent forms of, I don't remember, but he was pretty much saying like the blunt violence that Black men experience is higher than one of Black women. I don't know what the fuck he was arguing. So if you can tell me what you feel like.
I don't know what fucking he was talking about either. The reality is, listen, the problem with these Menonists and Menonism is that the vast majority of them identify the problem as the solution. And let me, there's something, because Black men have endured, man. I've as a Black man, particular myself, and knowing the history and knowing my great grandfather and my uncles, I talk about, maladaptations. Black men, we have made several maladaptations, because when we went from being defined as chattel, 3/5 subhuman property, to getting full franchise, full citizenship, fully human, we simply looked at the white man as the standard and the model. There was no serious, or there was some effort, but there was no attempt to define Black man, masculinity, identity, and societal roles outside of the status quo we were forced into. And so every time we failed to meet that standard, we had to explain to ourselves. And the very thing that, instead of saying this is a standard that we shouldn't try to meet, not only is this not a standard we should reject, this is a standard we should obliterate and destroy. This standard of malehood, manhood, these economic and social relationships and these hierarchies are inhumane, unjust, and should be obliterated. And that should be our role. More so, we would say, well, they're lynching us. They have all this power. Maybe if we spoke standard English, if we pulled our pants up, that pull that pants up shit goes back 100 years. Why are you wearing broke? When Southern Blacks were coming from the deep South, when Southern Blacks during the Great Expulsion, the displacement, what we call a migration, which it wasn't, they were writing articles in the Negro press telling the Southern Negroes not to be wearing broke iron shoes and overalls. They should get a good pair of slacks and a tweed and a hat to wear up and down the boulevard. Don't be up in here wearing these, sharecropper clothes. So they've been, and that's why, you're making us all look bad. And that's why the white man gonna come out and lynch us. So we've been having these same goddamn arguments for over a century. from take off them overalls and them broke iron shoes. Don't keep chickens in your yard. You buy chickens from the market. You know, so we've been going through this shit.
This is a global problem. It's so fun. My grandmother-in-law gets sometimes gets the neighbors will get upset with the way she would sit out on the porch with her old rocking chair talking to everybody in the bougie side of town. They were like, "Don't bring that hood stuff over to the bougie side of town."
Exactly.
Listen.
Back up though, Geechee, because that picture is that symbolism is essential. Like that is all we need right there.
Look how
the same argument has plagued us. Hold on a second. That same argument has plagued us for over 100 years. Black men looking at black men under genocidal oppression and saying these are the magic tricks. Marry your wife, speak standard English, have a decent income, and increase your income. In fact, the marriage will be a byproduct. Oppose everything the white man opposes. Show the white man that you hate what he hates more than him. Communism, feminism, and ungodliness, blackness. Show the white man that you are worthy to share in the spoils of empire and be a perfect mimic to him. You're not a threat. You are an asset and an ally to what the white men want. This, as somebody said in the comments earlier, this is an extremely dangerous disposition. And it has never, ever saved black men as a population or African people as a whole. It has never helped. All it does is deflect who is responsible for our oppression, and it distorts the true solutions we need to take to remedy these issues of black men as a group and African people as a population.
Look, absolutely. And this the man sat there for the better part of the 2 hours or so that I've watched these videos and essentially said welfare and feminism have been the downfall of the black community. Not colonialism, enslavement, whiteness, capital. None of those things were an issue for him. None of that. Markham on Hill even brought that up. He even said, we got drugs dumped in our community. We had this happen, that happened. And everything was like, all right, but you know, that was back in the day. We have all these opportunities. It's a cultural thing. And if we just marry each other and stay away from the queers and the heathens, we'll be good and get off this government teat, because we don't need welfare. We need corporate investment. I need my money. I need my white money to come privately. God damn it! Don't come publicly.
Listen, I'm curious, even from a media standpoint, like, because that one dude who was sitting close to him, he literally said, like, I'll answer right now. The government a corporation just sent us money to podcasts and stuff like that.
Platform me, baby.
Yeah,
I support that.
But
hell yeah.
This dude has been writing about stuff. I mean, and he's been doing his online stuff, and then he gets
these coons up on the screen, man.
And now you got two of them. And Jason Whitlock.
Saying, but this is how he got
coons across. People are screenshotting this show. If people only took screenshots with no audio, they'd be thinking this is the most reactionary show on the internet.
Listen though. So the way this guy gets even to the space, because we're talking about the manosphere people. Somebody is cutting on their camera and saying some shit and trying to be provocative, or would he say he's not being controversial? And then he gets the attention of Jason Whitlock, and then Whitlock, corny ass, will bring him on, and then he would be on, and then the think tank dude would see him and be like, oh, this cool, let me inbox him. He's a smart guy.
And let me tell you, you want a quick bit of media analysis? Let me tell you, the number one problem with Jason Whitlock and the types like that is that they make Stephen A. Smith look like a revolutionary. And that's what Stephen A. Smith is building his current career off of, because he will go at Whitlock and call him a coon, basically, and then present himself as some black radical while he does another version of the same thing. These dudes, I do tend to stay away from coons and Tom labels and all that kind of stuff, but some things are just appropriate. And these dudes are just, and with Whitlock, only because of my former interest in sports and sports journalism. To me, he is one of the few, I would be willing to say publicly, consciously made the choice to increasingly worsen his politics to improve his brand and his income. But anyway, I have the lowest forms of respect for him and those who would engage.
But I also have to say,
whatever.
Like, a half truth is more dangerous than a full lie. Like you were suggesting with Stephen A. Smith, will call out somebody, would make him look. But there's an enormous amount of right-wing, reactionary, patriarchal, sexist, misogynistic organizations, attitudes, and figures within the Black consciousness community. So it's very easy to look at the Heritage Foundation and their hand-picked minstrels, and to look at ESPN and their minstrels, but we don't do it as aggressively internally. And a lot of people make easy transitions from the conscious community to the right wing sphere and ideology, and there's this what they call it, symbiosis going on between these two groups. And so I do think we need to do as much aggressive internal critique and expulsion and push them over there, because there's so many Pan-Africanists and conscious Black people who want to improve our condition that are just as bad as the people who tell us our biggest problem is that we felt we're not white enough.
I agree. And although, just quickly, Diallo, we've been called out by Chicken Chow Mein. Both Dr. Ball and Diallo are normies who subscribe to white norms, both married and only had kids after marriage, no outside offspring, no divorce. They are living the nuclear family dream.
Oh, shit.
First of all, how you know how many kids I got and where they at? How do you know how many wives and divorces I got? You don't know. I got seeds all over the place. You don't know me, Chicken Chow Mein.
It's not too late for us to get some additional baby mamas if we really,
You don't know how many I got out here.
They got pharmaceuticals that can reinvigorate us, and we can get out there.
Hey, exactly. It ain't over yet. It's not too late.
We got this what? Yeah, I had somebody tell me that one time, like, you talk all this shit about Christianity and your lifestyle aligns more with the Christian family values than anybody else I know. It wasn't on purpose, man. My wife is just so vicious. I'm just afraid to do this. It's not for lack of desire.
Hey, every time I go somewhere, I see somebody fair skinned, light skinned. I'm like, if I've been in that place, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm like to join them brothers, man.
Every time I see a little brown skinned cutie with a light skinned youngin', I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that would. I don't know.
I really didn't want to do this nuclear family thing, but I married a vicious, vindictive woman. So,
well,
or else I'd be in the streets. I swear, I'd be out there.
I don't know that we're going to be able to share a group of people or a person that deserves Weakest of the Week than those people we just passed, but we can try and see if Obama.
Wait, one more thing before we leave fully this dude. I just at least want to shamelessly self-promote. So if because I don't think we're gonna have time to really come back to it. So I just want to encourage people to please check out this discussion of C. Dolores Tucker, because I really do think that people have gotten, she's not a revolutionary, not a radical, but I think they've gotten her argument wrong, and the hip hop historical narrative is a mess. And what dude was doing with her argument is what is terribly wrong. Very quickly, C. Dolores Tucker made many mistakes. She is, again, not a revolutionary, but her one of her core threads of her argument at the time that people keep missing or ignoring on purpose was that the corporate world, the white corporate world, was taking over Black culture and creating a form of anti-Black popular culture, specifically, as she said, that would be used to justify further incarcerating Black boys specifically. So she pointed it out, and I think accurately, that there was a corporate intervention in the art form that was turning it against the black community in a way that would you could argue has been justified in terms of the explosion of the prison population, surveillance, and all this other stuff that would be used just like that white woman said in that Squires panel to condemn black people and black youth and black boys in particular. So anyway, yeah, all right, we can go on to the Obamas where it only gets better.
So
yeah, let's talk about some dignified blackness. Let's get off these Uncle Toms and get to some real brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, sisters. Palate cleanser.
The NAACP branch in Jefferson City Correctional Center. I was there. I'm there this weekend, and these people who are
doing work, not checking yourself in.
Yeah,
just to clarify.
They almost I almost didn't make it up out of there.
Yeah, that is how I feel when I go do the. Yeah, it's like, please, you know, I'm supposed to leave.
Out of there, bro. I didn't listen, but those brothers in there had a very clear understanding. There was no illusions about Barack Obama, right? They you know. Again, I don't know if there's other radical or more radical thinking NAACP chapters inside any of the prisons anyway. I don't know, but that's my first time interacting with NAACP chapter inside of a prison. But anyway, but when you see online, you see there's a bunch of constant fangirling and fanboiling about Obama. This cat can't do no wrong, but he's over there in Chicago. Him and his wife had lunch with Diallo and his wife. And Diallo, I just want you to kind of tell what the public, like, what was that meeting like when you, Dr. Mango, went to go meet with Barack and Michelle before they opened that big ass, that very expensive. That boy
left when the check came out. That tell you all they know. They told us how great we were and how wonderful we were and how much they supported us. And just before the check came out, they left.
Let's play this right quick.
And let's hold in the bill. And then after they got up and left, a racist fascist couple came and sat at the table and said that, oh, these seats are so warm and comfortable. Who warmed these seats up for us? It was an unpleasant evening for me.
Let me play this right quick. So,
fascist with his mail order bride came and took their seats across from us. And I think the man had on a diaper that needed changing. So it was not a good day. It was not a good day for me.
Hey, listen. I would love to be in a Toastmasters with Diallo and give him a table topics like that, because he gonna deliver. And so look, apparently Obama ain't paying people. So let's see this.
Or who Obama is, him and his wife, and they come from Chicago.
There are only a few days to go until the Obama Presidential Center opens here in Chicago, and even at this late stage, there are some controversies between the people responsible for building the building, the contractors, and the foundation itself. The African American Contractors Association of Chicago says there are at least 10 small contractors who are threatened financially because they so far have not been paid the full amount for the work they have done on this project. They say there are disputes between the larger New York-based contractor and the smaller contractors over things like compensation, also things like change orders, things that were put in, had to be ripped out and reinstalled, or things that were added to the project. Now, as far as the Obama Foundation goes, they are saying that disputes like this are not uncommon among contractors, especially on a project this large and with so many moving parts. Still, the African American contractors here in Chicago say time is of the essence. Once this building is built and open to the public, they say they don't want to be forgotten about.
So wait a minute. No way the Obamas promised black people something and never delivered. No way. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Impossible.
He paid them an inspiration. That should inspire them to go out and get actual contracts that pay.
Exactly.
They get a little change.
I just want to be clear in case anybody misses this. What Diallo just said as a joke is literally what was said back in 2008 as to why we should support him. People were literally making that argument. He will buy his presence. Jeff Chang wrote, "This is evidence that hip hop has matured. The hip hop community has matured our support of Obama." So there was that attitude. He is the immaterial gifts he's providing are all you need.
He stole that from Jay-Z though. Jay-Z said, "My presence is charity."
He did. My presence is a present. Hoping some change. Exactly. So yeah, I remain shocked that he promised some black people something.
Laugh, man. I gotta live here.
These is the black people. These is the black people that he promised something.
Influential. Let's be sympathetic. Stop. Wait. Hey brothers. I hope them brothers get they.
These brothers, man. Look at these brothers, man. Brothers. Whoa, Kate, come on, Kate. Jimmy, we sorry, man. Like we don't want to tell you we told y'all so, but we do want to, sympathize and empathize with y'all grievances of being laborers, being workers, and being not paid and compensated for.
I hope them brothers get they just due.
Yeah, man. Let me see if they got some jobs on there.
But I genuinely think Obama is like being able to put
these are the ones who really not getting paid.
Your resume is payment enough. And it took him a decade to do it.
And by the way, okay, even after we assume hopefully that everybody gets their just pay for their labor, what is this center supposed to do? What is its purpose?
What the hell is wrong with you, Jerry? Are you not inspired? It's better to inspire your ass. Now, goddamn it.
Beyond that, can you actually? Is it meant to actually have? Is there like a working restroom in there, or is there like a?
There's a restroom. There's a studio where you can go lay down some hip hop tracks. Oh. There's a basketball and athletic.
You been in there? You been in there? Can you go do a tour?
I just read the brochure.
I think you need to do a tour for us, Jared. You know how y'all send me somewhere?
It costs like $45, $47 to get in there.
All right, watch this.
Mission.
Listen, before the end of this show.
Paying him $40. I know one thing he ain't said about
No, we need $40 in super chats.
Before the end of the show, if we can get Diallo some super chats up to or at least $45, we're gonna send Diallo on there and he's gonna do a journalistic review of the space. So shout out to the chat when they go.
I'm not going.
What you mean you're not going? You work for the people. Is you gonna work for the people or no? You gonna work for the people or no?
I'm pretty sure they already got my picture up by the cash register.
I can see that.
They say don't let you in.
I can see that. Don't let him in.
Seriously, all the Obama shit, all the Obama lackeys. I mean, when I first got to Chicago, I was the toast of the town. And now everybody cross the street when they see me coming. I have soiled my name in this city. Oh, wait, the prices have gone down. It's just, wait. Well, it's $30 for children. Adults are $30, 12 and above. Okay, it's $30. I think the $50 was for the celebration, but now that it's down. I'll send my granddaughter, 2 and under are free. I'll let her waddle around in there.
I just strap a GoPro on her forehead.
Exactly. When they do that to migratory animals, just like these two, push her through the door and come back a few hours later.
It's so hard to say.
But listen, I tell you one thing that's not in there.
Going to be on
one thing that's not in there are his presidential archives.
The Obama Presidential Center. The first thing I thought of was one of the remarks that the president gave in his farewell address.
I'm asking you to believe not in my ability to bring about change,
Oh,
but
not
in
me.
yours.
Don't put it on
To me, this is the perfect example of having to believe in my ability and our team's ability to really bring about change.
The Lakeside Alliance is a consortium of 5 different construction firms that have come together in partnership to build the Obama Presidential Center. The Obamas
You got to have
wanted
one.
to do
Come
something
on now.
different. So in this case, the African American owned firms have come together and created a partnership with a national majority firm that gives them a seat at the table.
Our primary mission is to be transformative. We're trying to leave the
it
construction
took
landscape different
17
than it was
black
when we first began.
companies to
The idea here is
team
that
up
it's
with
not
one
just
white
a
one.
one project and it's done, but be as sustainable as possible.
Yeah, Turner,
And
they're the
really,
that's the big
where
dog.
the
Yeah.
impact occurs.
We want to have approximately 50%
What
City of
happened to him?
Chicago workforce
Gets
on the
no
job.
respect.
And we want a large proportion of them to be from the local community.
This was a commitment to ourselves and a commitment to the Obama Foundation and a commitment to the community.
Oh, she
in
works
which
for Turner
we wanted
Construction
to be
too.
certain to
That
change
black
the
rep.
paradigm a little bit. And the only way we could do that is that we would grow roots in the community to give community residents and just regular folks, the regular
Believe.
businesses, an opportunity to kind of touch the work that
We
we're
waiting
doing
to
here.
buy because he's
The
been
fact that the
priced
Lakeside
out.
Alliance is committed to working with diverse
said, "Ride your ass
is
out of
important
here."
to me
When you're
because
not.
it's a true representation of the world that we live in.
He's
Never
riding
thought that I would be
further
sitting
south.
here building the presidential center for the first African American president of the United States. To be a part of that process is just, it's an overwhelming experience.
As a mom and as a construction business owner, I am most looking forward to bringing my kids to the Obama Presidential Center. My children have never known a world without a president that looks like them. And to have such an intimate part in writing his history, I think is going to be, truly amazing.
In rebranding his history.
As a mom, I hate when
Remarketing his
people
history.
use their class. I'm a mom and then black. Where are the gays and the disabled? Where are they? Just if we're just going to be having these promotional videos to tug at our heartstrings.
Obama's not gay or what was the other category? Disabled.
Disabled.
He only works for really the one category. And really the
I'm
one
just
class
saying
of
they
that
like to
category.
They like to parade out these people, inclusion, for this propaganda film.
Well, I'm sure the next one, maybe his library or his extension will be built by a gay
doing a
construction
library.
company. Oh, I don't
He ain't
know. I
doing his
don't know.
library. I think he donated his presidential archives to Harvard, didn't he?
Actually, I don't know.
Yeah,
And I do remember, I actually did watch the press conference years ago where the white dude went to the National Press Club and gave a press conference saying that Obama paid him to commit certain sexual acts in the back of a limo. So there are people making that who have made that claim, and we're happy to do it from the podium at the National Press Club, which is
Gosh,
but
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I don't care.
On record that we don't have to speculate. I think he's done.
No,
so
I
many
agree.
Harvard things on record.
Yeah, he did so much bullshit that is demonstrable and clear and documented. We don't need to speculate.
Yeah, I just hate on him for his public record, for his indiscretions. I don't know. Maybe if that dude in the back of the limo did a better job, we could have got single payer health care.
Boom.
Or Libya wouldn't have been destabilized. But he had done a better job in that limo, so I'm not gonna, you should have went.
Maybe we can level the playing field. And
Maybe put up something else. Put up another video before we go off.
Maybe Obama doesn't fit inside the weakest of the weak category, and that's just obvious. But maybe his followers, like maybe the people that you talk to every day, like your mom or your grandmama, your uncle, whatever. Maybe those black people might get weaker of the week this week. I don't know, but and she told me to read her thing, so that's her. But I've seen posts like this. Barack Obama is the greatest U.S. president to have served during my lifetime, right? And so
extremely
I said,
low bar. I mean, I might be able to say the same thing. What the hell does that mean?
Well, that's why I asked. I said, I love to see everyone to qualify their statement with just one example, like a policy he passed, or what did he do for America or Black America that makes you claim his superiority? If you can list more, cool, but just one will do. It will be cool to see a compiled list. And she says, I feel like she said she responded, but I don't see it.
She
And
said,
it was
please read my response.
Yeah, but I don't see the response now. So I don't know
Did anybody else leave one?
how you do
Did
this
anybody else take you up on your challenge?
No. Nobody else. But I felt like I actually was going to read it, and I guess I can't see it now. Wherever she
got to
replied.
screenshot it before they delete it.
Yeah, she said, this is
there
her
it
part.
is.
I don't need to explain anything.
Wow. Wow.
That's your prerogative. His 2 terms in office are more than enough. Do me a favor and stay off my pay. So how can I respond to that? She told me to stay off, so I gotta go.
That's how you respond. You leave her the hell alone.
Yeah, you leave her the hell alone and bring it up on the show.
You see, Boots Riley is in trouble for harassing some woman online.
Is he?
Yeah, you end up like Boots Riley.
Yeah, he's vigorously defending his film. But yeah, that's wild. I actually think that's a pretty good, almost like a pretty good experiment. I would have liked to see what people would have tried to put up. But she just said, no, I don't have to explain myself.
And then go to the post and tag me and say, go read it. Like
some cultish type behavior.
And then to tell you to leave her page.
Behavior.
Yeah.
It would have been honestly, I would have liked to see them endeavor to
Yeah, I thought that he was about to pull up something.
Now, like when you go, I don't know if it's still there. It's been a while since I've been in the building, but at Howard's Founders Hall for a while, they had a display that was meant to walk you through all of his accomplishments, and they would have little plaques. And a lot of them were things that I honestly most of us would have never heard about. They were like, small, like maybe like a donation to the NAACP or some sort of something that helped like they were really vague and esoteric type of things. And obviously all the things that people would have been wanting to look for were not there, but nothing related to healthcare or jobs or peace or anything like that. It was really slick. So, but my point being that there is a way to do it if you really wanted to try to come up with some sort of defense of your favorite president. There is some sort of argument they could have tried, but I guess it's just easier to tell you to go away.
Yeah, because you're just trying to set her up.
But the list should be so long, right? He had 8 years. He's the best ever.
2 terms.
Shouldn't have been difficult to come up with something.
That Obama was a competent bureaucrat. And what he did was reestablish and legitimize the status quo. So if you are a fan of the status quo of U.S. imperialism and capitalism, then he was a good president.
Yeah,
if you are not supportive of the U.S. empire and the economic system, then he was not a good president. And I think one of the worst things he did, he derailed one of the largest progressive movements in modern history. That if Obama had not uprooted that movement, the Occupy movement and its various iterations, and that movement was expanding and becoming entrenched in so many ways. And he engaged in extra legal tactics to uproot that movement. At the same time, he said, you're going to have to make me be a good president. And when a movement emerged to say, hey, we're going to make you do it, he sent the federales and local policing agencies for illegal surveillance and legal disruption of the movement. So that was a lie.
And he said increase funding to the police. After that shady thing of saying Sean Bell could have been Trayvon Martin could have been my son, or could have been me.
If I had a son,
If I
you quote
had a
that man
son.
right.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's so horrible.
Yeah.
We just tell the truth about him is all we got to do. We ain't even got to act. He said if I had a son, he would have looked like Trayvon Martin.
Yep.
And he said, but I don't have a son, so fuck him and the rest of y'all.
Yep. And give more money to the cops. Yep.
Yeah.
But I don't have one. So, and neither do you.
But I can't. And if I did, he'd be up here in the mansion.
Yep.
He wouldn't be walking the streets
Going to
of-
Harvey
of
Weinstein's film
Florida.
school with my daughter.
Oh, his daughter's in film school?
Well, she went to not film school, but one of his daughters went to Harvey Weinstein's like Hollywood mentor internship program at some point. Like it's
Y'all heard the new project he's producing with Larry David?
No.
Yes. And Seinfeld.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's why I had to stop watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, because he kept coming back with these Seinfeld joints, man. Damn it, Larry. Damn it.
Yeah, that was.
But I didn't know that. I did just see the recent Seinfeld thing where somebody was asking him about saying free Palestine. He said they don't exist on camera.
Well, it's a play. Larry David did a series of pretty clever crypto commercials. He did one of the Super Bowls. He did the series of commercial where he played a historical figure that was doubting things. So he went to the Wright brothers and said, people are never going to fly. And he went to Alexander Bell and was like, this phone thing, I'm just fine with carrier pigeons. So he was a naysayer of great technologies. So they had him going all through history. They had like a Cro-Magnon making carving out the wheel. And he's like, this wheel thing, I don't need it. I'll just walk. And so then he went to a guy that was investing in crypto. And he went to him and was like, this crypto thing, nothing. So he was like, crypto is like the wheel and the Clovis stone and penicillin and all these great inventions of history that people doubted until it came to fruition. So they're doing a television series where it's basically Curb Your Enthusiasm in history, where he's going to be hating on and Seinfeld's playing a role in it, and it's all produced by Obama. So Obama's the gift that just keeps on giving.
What up, Seinfeld? What up? Can we get a free Palestine? Can we get a free Palestine? Come on, give us one free Palestine.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah, he would have said the same thing if you asked him about the age of consent.
Absolutely. Dirty motherfucker.
That's what you should have
he
asked
sure
him.
did.
Seinfeld,
It doesn't
what do you think
exist.
about the age of consent? He would have said the same thing. So,
So yeah, that's who we got. That'll be a great take on history. The Obama teaming up with Seinfeld and Larry David. That is.
Well, he's doing a podcast on Reconstruction, and then he's going to produce a satirical.
I forgot to go back and finish that. That's right. I had completely put it out of my mind after the show last week. I did mean to go back and finish listening to it. Yeah.
So Obama, he ain't through. Obama's not through with us.
No.
He's not through with
What
us.
you cooking up, man?
I was trying to see if Jay-Z lyrics on Moment of Clarity was available somewhere, and it is, I guess.
Moment of Coonery.
What if we play it? Will we get copyright? So I probably should play it.
You can't. Don't play it at all. Please don't play it.
Anyway, I'm gonna just have to read it. I'm gonna have to
they'll
read
take
it.
They'll even take the live off.
I'm gonna read it. He says the music business hate me because the industry ain't make me. Hustlers and boosters embrace me, and the music I be making. I dumb down for my audience and double my dollars. They criticize me for it, yet they all yell hollow. If skills sold, truth be told, I probably be lyrically Talib Kweli. Truthfully, I've been want to rhyme common sense, but I did 5 mil and I ain't been rhyming like common sense. When your sense got that much in common and you've been hustling since your exception, fuck perception. Go with what makes sense. Since I know what I'm up against, we as rappers must decide what's most important. I can't help the poor if I'm one of them. So I got rich and gave back. To me, that's a win-win.
Somebody left a comment on one of my videos recently, said the same thing. Y'all tripping. You giving Jay-Z the business for no reason, and said the same thing. And I said, you literally quoted his lyrics back to him. He said that the comment was, the solution is to make billions and redistribute it. He said, how can you redistribute? He said, you always talk about redistribution. How can you redistribute without getting wealth first? The goal is to become a billionaire and then redistribute it. And I was like, that's that Jay-Z lyric right there.
You know your boy Ari, right? He's running cover for Jay-Z like crazy.
Oh, he loves hip hop. He's the cool Jew. He's the cool Jew that hangs out at the party. He's been playing that role for a minute, and I don't even watch MS whatever it is now. Pun intended.
But is it even necessary?
Technology will help.
Is it even necessary to say Jay-Z sold out? Because
stock market has been rising.
Society will have.
I mean, it's hard to say you sold out when you've never bought in, as they say, or whatever. But you know.
Yeah, he wasn't sellout though.
The same
by the
vows.
purest definition. He is a traitor. What is this, Geechee?
I was trying to say Ari, but I'm curious if you like what you saw about the Target thing, because they're saying like he broke a boycott, right? Or the black people was against it. You know, we talked about John Bryant the other day, but Jay-Z consistently, not only his rap lyrics, it's almost like he's almost like an ambulance chaser and as such. Like black people causing some issue over there, run to there and go do the deal with the people who doing the problem. Like he went to NFL, he did whatever.
I think we give Jay-Z too much credit to imagine that Jay-Z sees this thing and acts on it. I think they call him up.
Okay, I like that.
I think the marketing team, the crisis management team, the PR team are like, what do we do? And Jay-Z was one of several options. They said, we can go gospel, we can go deeper into this patriotism and go deeper into MAGA. I think Jay-Z was a list of a myriad of options.
You think they have like a roster of coons they can get
Jay-Z
get the coon Rolodex.
Exactly. Jay-Z is an asset. He's not a shot caller. He couldn't. I don't think he went to the NFL or to Target and say, "Hey, I got an idea." I think his phone rang. He said, "Yes, boss, I'm on it," and he's given instructions on what to do. And I think he pretends to be the boss and the shot caller and the innovator. But that, again, that's my speculation. But I think we give him too much credit to think that he went to this conglomerate and told them, "Let's make this happen."
Chidimaka saying he's an unwitting obscurant. Diallo is saying he's wittingly obscurant. Playing that
I think he knows exactly what he's doing. And the reason I would say he qualifies as a sellout is because he came up in abject poverty. I've been in those housing developments in New York City, the Marcy projects. I mean, that's some old, they had that movie Red Hook. Black people were really, going through it. With I mean, everything from crackheads, predators given free range. Those were literally abandonment zones where the NYPD and other regulatory and enforcement agencies were like, as long as they keep their shit within this confines, anything could happen. Children were being thrown down rat chutes. Babies were showing up in the surrounding emergency rooms with rat bites. Jay-Z knows what the fuck. If he came up and he had a lesbian mother who had 7 kids, so she was dealing with the psychological, the social, economic, all just compounding oppression. So even if he never said, well, I'm down with the movement made him. He was a product of all of that oppression. And for him to go fucking balls to the wall billionaire, pro-capitalist, I do think he's a fucking sellout because he should know better. He should fucking know better.
That works.
So
and then just the ability that I've seen recently of people, including the commenter I was referencing just a moment ago, but more prominent voices out there who are defending him on the basis of not only that they twist the narrative you just ran and say he came out of that and therefore deserves whatever he's to be doing, whatever he's doing. And then the flip side is to also say he does do things that somehow a Bitcoin Academy in the Marcy projects is the kind of what was that video I quoted? He called it quiet philanthropy or something like that. You know, it's like, you know, that like people want to the narrative around that kind of giving back and all of that does it works to a certain extent. And it's but you're right. No, he definitely should know better, and he knows better enough to say, to make some kind of reference to the idea of giving back, even in what Geechee quoted. Or to even do the Bitcoin Academy is some sort of acknowledgement that I should be doing something probably, but I'm not really trying to do anything. And the people who would be likely to have made that call to him would be saying, you should do something that is the appearance of giving back that will give you some branding protection. But obviously we're not going to invite you to actually, you know, reinvest in the hood and buy up people's property and fix housing and give people, you know, or to advocate for, you know, whatever. They bring him in, so he will say to Roger Goodell, we're past kneeling, we're moving into ownership, even if that ownership is 0.01%.
Right. Yeah, when he was the mascot for the gentrification of Brooklyn. I mean, Brooklyn has been obliterated. Brooklyn has been obliterated with corporate intrusion, and I don't like the term gentrification. It's economic racial displacement. It's expulsion. So
the late great Dr. Turner called it colonial removal.
And remember when Jay-Z got in on prison reform? There was
Harvey Weinstein.
Yes, there was a strong prison abolition and repeal of the Rockefeller drug laws. And he grafted onto that. So he don't just jump on these boycotts. When there's a progressive movement, he made himself the face of black prison and sentencing reform. And where they at though? What happened? As soon as the attention and the cachet goes, he abandons it, often worse than what he found it. So Jay-Z,
can we play this little reminder? I'm not a Democracy Now! Fan, but I do enjoy this reminder.
On Donald Trump and what it means for Marcy, or no, what it means for Marcy
Carter. Got his boy, boss.
And as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that. And
look at that,
my boy,
a billionaire standing there, can't answer a question on his own. A billionaire standing there, black man from the hood.
I think we've gotten past speaking. Yeah, man.
all those lyrics I've listened to, all the braggadocio, all the I sold more, slept with more, moved more, made more, and standing there looking around confused, looking at the floor when Harvey Weinstein comes over. Be quiet, boy. That was crazy.
I was about to say the only thing worse than Jay-Z is his fan base, but I remembered we actually have a Jay-Z fan here, so I'm going to withhold that.
No,
position.
I told you I'm here for it. I'm guilty. Up until the Black album, I was a fan. I admit it. He was my biggest contradiction. I acknowledge it. I'm here for it. I've never defended his politics, and if I catch strays for it, I deserve it. I
didn't say I held it back.
I'm straight up though. I mean, it's an indefensible. You know, I've known for
how much
decades.
Of your own money is on that stack of billions? How much you threw on there?
I bought every album he put out through the Black album. I purchased at full price. I paid for a full price ticket to see him. It was then the Capitol Center in DC. And no, I bootlegged his documentary. So he's got a few He got
right. You done threw up some money, 1/1 billionth of his billion. It came out of your pocket.
Exactly. I helped contribute to the monster.
You need to call him and say, listen, I put money in your pocket just like Weinstein and Target and the NFL. If they can give him marching orders, why don't you? Because
why can't I? I bought all your albums.
I ain't putting no money in that man's pocket. I bought one copy of Reasonable Doubt, and I bought that at a used secondhand CD store. So that money, that didn't go to him. I ain't never went to see. I ain't got no merch.
Wait a minute, I'm worse. It's worse. If he ever got a cut, I don't know exactly what everyone's relationship was to the mixtape industry back in the day. Oh, they are unreal. They're outrageous.
They better than Justin's.
No, they are. And the peanut M&M version of that is just as good.
No, they're not better than Justin.
They are. Peanut M&Ms are. They are. They are.
They're better than Justin.
They are organic.
Are those Unreal organic?
Yeah, they're vegan, gluten free.
Don't come for me, boy, because I keeps that thing on me. These oat bars, and they got a crispy rice oat chocolate bar. I keep them things on me, boy. Don't hold nothing up to the camera. You embarrassing yourself.
Hey, how y'all block people in the comments? Y'all know how to block? Let's block.
Hold up. I got all I got on hand is my dose liver cleanse.
We trying to block.
Hey, no. The rich whites drink this.
No,
the rich white people drink this.
Ain't got no flavor to it.
No. It don't matter. Rich whites drink this. You better get healthy.
Listen, the rich whites drink this.
You better get healthy. Clean out my liver and my kidneys.
It's too early to be drinking, Gucci.
Huh?
It's too early to be drinking that alcohol. Be off that alcohol.
First of all, this is lion's mane, ashwagandha, and a little bit of
what that is.
THC.
Oh yeah, I know. The Carbon Nation is very healthy. I got to give it to that. One thing about Carbon Nation is they advocate holistic health. I ain't even gonna front. So we can't compete with Geechee when it comes to natural holistic health because the Carbon Nation always advocated that.
Hey, you know how weak that joke is? Ain't nobody laughing. Ain't nobody. Hey, you know, ain't nobody even register that shit.
It's true.
That shit was like,
hold up.
Register. That shit whack as hell.
Toe Jam, Big Swole. I know you feel me on this. How are people? I know I'm talking about something I did the other day, but how are people going to big up? How is Hassan Piker going to get excited because somebody benched 315 pounds? He got excited because his homeboy put three plates on the bar. What kind of lightweight is that? I know you feel me, Toe Jam, getting excited over 3 plates. Can you imagine a 20-year-old going to the gym onto the bench press and putting a little teeny tiny 3 plates on there and getting excited?
Hey man,
he's not real. That's how you know he's not real politically. He got excited over 3 plates. You better get out of here.
3 plates
Baby
each, right?
weight.
Come on, who? How big was he?
I don't know, man. Hassan Piker was on his Breakfast Club interview the other day and talked about some Democratic Party candidate he likes in the Midwest who and one of the reasons he said he liked him is because he goes to the gym and was benching 3 plates. And Piker was talking about himself as, being 6'2" and going to the gym. And his eyes got big when he said that. And I was sitting there like, I was hating. I was absolutely hating because 3 plates is warm up. That's warm up. So I was like, 3 plates? You getting excited?
315 is your warm up? That was your warm up back in the days?
Honestly, 225 was my starting warm up.
No, that's 345.
3 plates is 315. 3 plates is 315. So I would warm up with 225. Then I would get up to 315 doing reps though.
Well,
because the max, and again, I gotta say the max after destroying my shoulder and taking no supplements of any kind, 435 off the rack. So I'm not trying to. I'm just not excited about 3 plates.
Listen, first of all, because I got a little offended. I got a little offended because that could tell you're not like an agile athlete, right? So you was probably strong, but for athletes
and fast.
When we weigh 170 something pounds, Going up 315 like this is Diallo.
He
I'm stepping out because y'all on some toxicity type
you're
stuff.
right.
So,
You're right. You're right. If you're 170 and you're doing reps at 315, that could be impressive. But that's not what Piker was saying. Piker talked about it as a max weight for somebody who was of a certain size, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. And
chill out. 5'9".
See, this is toxicity. This is toxic.
We gotta get our manosphere reps. We gotta get our manosphere reps.
No, look, I admit that I had a childish reaction. I did. I reverted back to a 20-year-old in the gym, and I said 3 plates. What is who gets excited over 3 plates?
Well, I was this morning in the gym. I was lifting the 45s.
Well, when we don't talk about today. Today doesn't count. We only talk about the past. I'm not talking about today. Today don't count. You didn't ask me what I did at the gym today. I'm living in the past. Let me live in my past. What you talking about today for?
Hey, Jerry, Diallo feels excluded. Diallo, how many latte cups did you lift today?
I'm having a summer solstice latte this right after the show. Oat milk latte.
Is that gonna be your first rep? First one you lift
shavings on the phone.
Yeah. Who made it?
Well, it's a team effort.
Oh.
I steam the milk and grind the beans. She packs the press.
What did you say she because it's Father's Day and you trying to leave her nameless or like or
well, Erica, yeah, we have a coffee ceremony.
For Father's Day.
We were gonna make the coffee for Jared, but he wouldn't come past Roosevelt.
I told you I don't do that. Southside is crazy. You trying to get me to go over to the hood is ridiculous.
It is. I'm glad you gave me an excuse to get the hell out for a little while. I can't even come on and be like, yeah, they lied about our community. Nah, no, they not. This past couple of weekends, it's been good. I think shit gonna calm down now. It's coming into the summer. You know, it ebbs and flows. But yeah, you're right.
I was like, yeah, he said Southside. I said, absolutely.
They was wild.
That is ridiculous.
They wild. But it's like, man, it was so many. They doing fireworks for Juneteenth now. Big time fireworks for Juneteenth.
That's how I know. That's how I know my neighborhood is too white. It was quiet as hell on June 19th. Juneteenth was silent.
But it was married to the Obama Center opening and Common. What's that dude's name? Stevie Wonder.
Hold up, Common. Wait. Common went from Asada to Obama.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Remember he said. Remember when they got that Grammy? Him and John Legend got the Grammy. I mean, all the Negro Gentia was in Chicago this week.
I mean, it's a celebration.
Yeah.
Listen, man. I had a good
huge man. Everybody. I've never seen Al Sharpton, the girl from Abbott Elementary. What's that guy's name? Forrest Gump, Usher. Who's Tom Hanks? LL Cool J. The girl who played the girl from The Help.
Oh wow!
Everybody was in town. Oprah. This one white girl.
He said this one white
Cat
girl.
Williams. All three of the living presidents. Bush and Clinton and Biden. I mean, Chicago.
Wow.
I think they even zoomed in Diddy.
From his cell. That's messed up.
Well, he's still David Letterman, George Lucas. Wow. George Lucas said he was never coming back to Chicago. He mad at us. Everybody was here, man. I don't think, man, we could have just, man, if somebody was moving, Conan O'Brien and the other white dude, Everybody was in town. I could feel the energy. It was, what did Jay-Z and Beyonce, did they show up?
How could they not?
I think
They
Jay
had
and
to have
Bay
been.
came. They didn't get permission.
So
Yeah.
listen, fellas, I got to leave in 15 minutes. If there's anything
we
you
got-
want me to participate in, obviously, you don't have to wrap the show. But
we should be wrapping it. Y'all should be voting in the chat who gets weakest of the week.
Who's nominated? Who? We got to decide before we go, though. It's Jay-Z.
So it's Squires,
and his
Obama,
team. Obama,
and Jay-Z.
Yeah, and any supporting
Obama and the Obama Center.
and Obama's followers. How about that?
Obama
Oh wow, somebody nominated Mark.
Oh shit!
Damn, that's rough. Y'all rough.
That's crazy.
I'm saying Jay this week. Who you got, Geechee?
I gotta go with Squires and his whole team, bro. That man is
Jared.
Yeah, I got to go with Squire. In largely because I've been hating on Obama and Jay-Z for so long that
that's messed up.
and that it's almost. But I put in so much effort into the Squires that I kind of have to. It's like the sunken cost fallacy. I gotta go. I gotta just what Mark do. Mark Lamont Hill interviewed. Not it was challenging, but he interviewed Squires. Dr. Dennis. Oh, that's
How did he get on there?
Now what happened? I saw some of that exchange. What had happened between Dr. Dahl
we gonna have to
and
break both of them. We gonna have to break
Saying
both of
Dr.
them.
Dahl
It's
is
still
supporting the manosphere and scapegoating feminist.
Oh no. Oh no. I caught some of the back and forth in the chat, was like, what is going on? But that's funny.
Yeah. So we did Cherie did
I was gonna nominate myself. Somebody said I was MAGA.
Cherie did a lecture on femicide a couple months ago, and Dennis was in the chat, but I think even before that, the week before, we did a conversation. And yeah, I think they've been in communication since I go back and forth because summer shows, but yeah, it's interesting. I think that's a conversation that needs to be had because yeah, like I think sometimes folks, even myself, I think we had when Cherie did this when she did the lecture, when she mentioned femicide and Yusuf was like, could you give us a working definition? And then I didn't really even have a definition, so I looked it up or whatever. But the response of those conversations led to a conversation that's, I guess, ongoing, obviously, even with the Black male study people. And some of these people are kind of the same, they're in the same spaces. So I think both of them having an opportunity to come on. And even, what's that other guy? The new African, the Freedom African dude who comments on everything. He always in the chats. So I think it's
so. Can you do me, if you wouldn't mind, do me a favor and send me the link to that? I missed that episode. I would like to see the presentation she did. And then I'm not, but a defense of Curry's work. Oh Lord. So, but again, I mean, my issue again is more about Curry's lies and behavior than the work itself. I do want to draw some distance between the two, at least a little bit, but that's interesting. So yeah, I'd like, I'd definitely, Diallo's right about the man, not people. Yeah. The people are wild. So okay, yeah, I'm down. I definitely want to see the presentation, and I'm not sure what the exchange was, but
so yeah. did we settle? Who won weakest of the week?
Well, in terms of the three of us on here, Squires got the most votes, but
okay.
But Mark Lamont Hill quietly got more votes than I thought. I was like, this
Damn. And all he did was
I think he got more votes than Squires did.
But Jared, you know what? this to your weightlifting logic. Maybe Mark is the weakest of the weakest because he's expected to be the strongest, and he actually was on their level. So like he actually went down under what you expected. So he caught a stray. I'm okay with amending that.
And all he did was platform a coon.
No. He had a journalistic responsibility.
So platforming a coon is worse than being a coon. Y'all hardcore.
No, I'm just saying. Okay. Weakest of the week, though. We're talking about weakest of the week. Like he was.
Okay, yeah. Who's the weakest of the week?
I'm gonna leave it. I'm still gonna leave it on Squires. I think I'm going to, in this moment, have it hold the worst, the argument worse than the one who platformed it.
I don't talk about.
But I will just say I understand. I understand. That's all I'll leave it to.
I'm not talking about the platform. I'm talking about his responsibility.
No, he didn't do it.
You called.
Right. He didn't do what he needed to do.
But I've never known him to be that much of a quality journalist anyway. So it ain't like he reserved.
That is his brand, is to give that kind of an interview. So
yeah, that whole milquetoast, middle of the road shit. Except for that chubby dude on the Joe Budden podcast. Wasn't that Mark Lamont here that was about to put hands on
Queen's Flip?
Queen's Flip.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did get into it. Yeah.
I thought it was
y'all want that. Y'all want to catch that heat? Y'all want to show?
Yeah, I don't. Nah.
They was trying to handle. It was trying to handle Mark as an academic nigga, and he wasn't ready for that. He was ready to throw them hands.
He had to let him know.
So is it who it is? I'm gonna start making an announcement, huh? Is this Squire? So you're gonna ignore the voice of the people? I always ignore the people. That was always my thing. But then last week, both of y'all was like, "No, we got to listen to the people." And now that I'm trying to listen to the people, now y'all back to ignoring the people.
If we listen to the people, I didn't get an official count, but if we do listen to the people, it looked like Mark got the most votes.
Hey, me and Jared is gonna.
And there go another one.
We're gonna nominate.
I'm gonna create a poll. If we can get in our nominations by Thursday, I can create a poll. So by
Wait
Sunday,
a minute, can't you do it right here on YouTube?
Yeah,
you can do a poll right here on YouTube
right now.
But listen, the people who organize this event,
your Father's Day pedicure or something.
I have to get my pedicure, but you could do I'm just saying you could do a poll. Can I do it? No, you have to be the one to do it.
Why this don't let us? What are widgets? No, widgets don't let you do a poll or nothing?
No, not through StreamYard. You got to do it through YouTube.
Yes, it do. Watch.
Oh, StreamYard that you do a poll?
Yep.
For real?
Oh, the widgets. Oh, wait, let me do it.
Oh, it does. Oh, snap. Go ahead, StreamYard.
No, I'm the one that found it. I discovered it.
All right, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it.
Create it then. I was
go
just
ahead and
doing
create it. Wow, go ahead, StreamYard. Go ahead, StreamYard. You sound like boomers. It's rough out here. It's rough. And Eric is co-signing it. Look at this. It's rough.
It's hard
Zenzi's co-signing. Oh,
what's that dude name? What's his name? Squire.
Zenzi is ages and
Squires. Get a producer under 35.
I'm doing a poll. I gotta put Squire's name on here. This crazy.
We're waiting. Y'all a trip.
Jay-Z, Squire, and Mark Lamont Hill. Y'all scared of Jay-Z?
Who?
Everybody, the chat, and everybody. You and the chat. Nobody voting Jay-Z. Y'all scared. Y'all think he's gonna cut you. You think he's on the verge of writing y'all a check and like, what they say about me? No check for you. Jay-Z ain't gonna give y'all no money. All right, who's the weakest of the week? How do they vote?
How do they vote?
I'm about to share it. I'm about to share that real quick right now for them. Oh wait, do you have to put the link?
So let me do it.
You ain't know what you're doing, bro.
Add an option. How do you get this out to the people?
I don't know. We got to put a poll on it. It says QR code. Hold on. Let me see how I share the link.
When was Obama nominated? I thought it was Mark Lamont Hill. Ain't even on the list.
No, he didn't put Mark Lamont on the list. Hold on. I'm going to add it. I'm going to add the list. Oh, no, that's not.
Share this thing, man. Never mind.
And he can't even share it. He can't even share the thing.
Can you add to it if it's in the comments? Can you add to it, Geechee?
What you mean? Can I add to it?
Can you add to the poll? Can you click on is it see?
Yeah. No, not no more. All
Huh?
right. Yeah, we gonna have. I don't.
Hold
that's
on,
new.
I'm deleting it. Let me try something real quick. Let me just see what happens here.
And you want to call us old? Show them how the old school get down.
Man,
I don't know if I can.
The first time you seen that poll.
It is the first time I've seen the poll.
Damn. First of all, y'all know I ain't even gonna talk because y'all, you know, and Zinzi is a board operator too. So Zinzi log in since you got your login and show
Right
us how
there.
it's done.
It says start and show. So how do people actually vote though?
That's what I'm saying. I thought you could share the link in the chat and they could click on the link, but you got to give a whole website. So you got to have your own voting app to do it.
Should have did it on the. Should have put the thing on the damn thing. That's what I was telling y'all.
Oh wow. So this is stupid then. Who just voted that?
You did?
I didn't pick that.
Who picked Jay-Z?
Who voted for Jay-Z?
Diallo did that shit.
I didn't. If I did, I'd tell you how.
I don't even see how to vote. Somebody just voted. Who voted for? Who's voting?
Zinzi did it. Zinzi came back and did it.
I think Mark Lamont Hill is the one in the comments.
Wait a minute. How are people voting? Where are these
They
votes
can
coming
click on
from?
it. Oh, they can click on it once you put it. Once you put on it,
Do they type numbers?
No, they can just click on it, I think. I don't know.
No, you can't. I'm looking at it on the. How are people voting?
They're typing names and numbers in the thing. Is that how it goes?
Yo, that's funny as hell, bro.
It's saying
Oh,
type.
you
They're saying type the
number.
number.
Oh, this says type a number.
That's all you have to do is type the
Y'all got
number.
1 minute to decide. Right now, it's Obama. Damn.
Jerry, how you do that, yo? What you do?
I did what you did. I only did what you did. I think you just needed to. I only added Mark Lamont Hill, and then I think you just had to wait for people to start populating with the numbers. I guess that's.
So
that's dope.
Once you post it, it does it by itself.
I guess it starts reading the chat to get the numbers. Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Jay-Z
Jay-Z is winning.
That's whack, y'all. Are y'all serious? He literally rapped about the whole thing that he was ever gonna do that. He always gonna do that.
I think Squire should have way more votes.
Squire,
so can I go in? Can I go in there and vote for Squire?
No, but let me tell you this. While we was talking, I got an inbox that somebody is Squires, Kinder Squires. So go soft on this man. No, wait, no, never mind.
Phrasing.
Wait, speaking of drops, y'all gonna have to. I gotta while we're waiting here, while the poll is going, everybody. Let me play my new favorite drop. I put it on. I put it in Diallo's studio. I'm sorry, Diallo. My bad. Let me play my new favorite drop. Let's reminisce real quick. The good old days.
And we should support black businesses. We got to support black. You know, my buddy Jared Ball, Dr. Ball, who is at Morgan State, talks about this myth of black buying power. Another brother who teaches at Duke University, Sandy Darity, says, you know, we can't pool our money together and get using that, buy our way out of oppression.
Right.
This is
never buy your way out.
You can't buy your way out. We can't create enough millionaires in a capitalist society. It just can't. Nick, as much money as you do or don't have, you can't write a check for everything you worth and free us.
Right.
It's not possible in a capitalist society.
Right.
I mean, LeBron James, that's great, brother. You're an employee.
Yeah.
You could be making $100 million a year, but guess what? Any cat that can write you a check for $100 million a year is making more money than you can count. You know what I'm saying?
And it's unfortunate because we do have so.
So just remembering this in the good old days, because you heard that.
It's not possible in no society. In no society is possible.
No. But the most important part, you heard the difference. I was referred to as my buddy, Jared Ball. Darity was just that professor, the other professor.
You in the streets, man. You in the streets, man.
So what happened? That's all I want to know. What happened?
What happened to what? What happened to him?
Yeah, why? Like
Nick the Sperm Cannon talk to him off camera.
Well,
Can't buy your way out of oppression, but you can buy your way up out
maybe
of
Jared,
poverty.
maybe what happened to him.
Somebody commented when I put it up the other day. Somebody commented and said,
Maybe
"Don't let
he
Roland
was in
Martin say
St.
it."
Louis. Maybe he was with St. Louis, and he found out that the urban league be working with the police.
Oh shit!
Ain't no
Why
wrong
does
with
the
that.
sign look crazy like
No,
that?
but it's not. But they pretty much they got signs up all over St. Louis telling people to slow down because there was a lot of.
I was St. Louis.
Hey,
She was
listen.
in my part of town.
Fellas,
Yeah,
my fault.
forgot
I got a
St.
dip.
Louis.
It looks like
All
as
right,
I'm
so
leaving,
Jay-Z
Jay-Z's
won.
winning. Thank you, fellas. Thanks to the undefeated chat. I will catch you all next week.
Take us
Forgive
out,
the
Diallo.
abrupt exit, man. Peace,
All right,
everybody.
we out. Peace, y'all. Happy first day.
I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised. Y'all been in church 2 hours and you're expecting to see heaven out here, and there ain't no heaven. You're still right here on earth. Here the black man's truth. No, you can't deny it. You can't deny it. You've been down on your knees the last 2 hours, haven't you? Begging some God to help you in the hereafter. But the hereafter is right now, brother. The hereafter is here and now.
We a series of amendments and leather African pendants, handguns and incense. Liberation's expensive. Earned by studying love, books and bloods, the crooks and thugs, the capitalist loves. They the enemies of the people because the words written replace where the innocence was. Searching for knowledge to escape what ignorance does. So we earn liberation by rejecting what was.
You got to earn your